Hey, 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 everybody.
Yo, Ray, whoever, what's going on, everyone?
Yola hee hoo.
Hmm.
I'm going to be back and forth because I'm like in the middle of making supper. So I'll be back and forth. Um, we're going to do my uncle tonight with his videos. I picked out a recent video. Figure we start on that. It was from 3 days ago. And everybody's talking about whatever with the rage and stuff. I figure, what the heck? Let's see what my uncle put up with, who he has for that. So there's a part one and a part two. And they didn't look like they were very long, so we should be all right. But I'll play that as soon as I get the food done. We'll start that and we'll start playing that.
And I'll be in and out as well.
So there might be a little bit. We'll try not to keep it dead air, but it's like we're both trying to get back and forth here.
Hmm.
I do have a new member for everybody to meet. Just give me 1 second. Let me go
You
get
got
her.
what?
I'm gonna show everybody Cream
Oh,
real quick.
so how's everyone's Monday doing? Going? What's going on there, Dorian? How are you doing today, Dorian? I'll be headed
And
to you.
this is Cream's. Yes, Cream does almost look like Peaches, but she's a lighter color. And I could tell she's got a gold band on, so I could tell apart just in case as she gets older, she does start looking like her. Hey, no bite, no bite, no bite. Yeah, we're still learning no biting. But she's pretty cool. She's tame. I'm going to get her to come over here and put her on the place thing. But so far, she's a little shy. But she's got Peach's personality. You want to
What's
go back
going
over to
on,
over
SJ?
to your apartment?
How's it going there, SJ?
Hey, hey, SJ. Hey, Dorian.
Now she's gonna keep whining them.
What?
No more.
Well, let me put her back over. She wants to go back over to her. Come on, step up. Step up. Good girl.
Close here in a second.
Good girl. There where you want to go? Go ahead.
It should be done for. It's been about 45 minutes.
What?
7:03.
What? You just gonna look around?
All right.
You want to be with me, huh? I can't have you out of the cage while I'm in and out of the room, honey.
Because it gets cleaner a lot better. Yes, it does.
But that is Cream. That is Peach's sister. She just came today, this afternoon. I got to bring in the other cage for her.
I might be doing in and out streams tonight and tomorrow night.
All
Late
right.
night.
All right. Well, if I wake up during one of your streams, I'll try to pop up.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah,
Been
it's going to
running
be
all
different
night.
this week. Guys, it's going to be different this week. Trucker has to be on night shift for a couple of days this week. So Wednesday is up in the air unless he does overnight stream. But Wednesday, I got that sleep study, so there won't be a
We're not
stream
sure if
from
we're
you.
going. Yeah, we're not sure quite yet.
Because I was talking to him about switching it, having off Wednesday and then doing Sunday, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how everything goes.
I might still be able to do the stream on Wednesday. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yep.
We'll let y'all know. I won't exactly know for sure probably till Wednesday morning. And then I'll just do a short video, a short stream, just to let y'all know
Yep.
Wednesday morning. So,
Yeah, I got 2 appointments Wednesday. I got the MMR, and then I got the sleep study. So I know I'm going to be busy that day. But other than that, it's like I said, for tonight, all I got to do is wait till I get supper. Just give me a chance to get supper done. Then we'll start doing the videos, with my uncle and stuff. Also, Roxy might be coming in.
we just don't know what day.
I just don't. Yeah, we don't know a day, but Roxy, if you happen to catch us, happy birthday again, girl. I'm glad you had a good stream.
Yeah. I gotta go back and finish watching it.
Becky is now going to be over there for at least about a month.
Another month.
Yep. Well, Becky wants to stay there. And Becky actually behaved today.
And then according to Keem's thing, I think Tina might have got fired.
I don't know. I don't know. There was something that was said when I watched this morning on CAP for a little bit. They were saying that Tina talked Sweet Tea and saying something that Sweet Tea, it's not normal for Sweet Tea to say. And it was, from what I understand, it was racist. And when Sweet Tea got up there, she explained herself. And it was basically Tina talked her into it.
Right.
So, yeah, there's things up in the air over in locales. I got to watch live again because I got to figure out why Roach Cop was all dirty. But let me go check my water, guys, and make the hamburger real quick, and I'll be right back.
Yep. So,
Free bird.
yep. I gotta tonight. I gotta do a short run, then pick up my next load and start heading down to Georgia.
Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're mad.
Just outside of Atlanta.
Hi. Whoa. Hey, let's go. Away from the door.
So it's gonna be a rough couple nights, but well, especially tonight. All right, folks. I'm gonna be back, so I'll be back. I gotta go check my clothes here. I'll take this here with me. Take the headset. I guess I'll take my phone with me. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights. Come on. I just did not see that. All right, try to see which of my clothes are dry. Hopefully, majority of them will be dry. Be nice. They're all dry. Yeah, I'm doing laundry. I'm washing my clothes because I don't have no clean clothes in the truck and I need them. So, I think they're all dry. So, how's everyone's day going? Excuse the chickens and the turkeys you hear in the background. Once I get rolling, I'll be able to talk more. Because Cindy, she just got home from work, so I've been quiet. I think I'm all good with my clothes. If they're a little bit damp, no, that's still wet. Take out all these dry ones. Those pants are still wet. But you know what? Okay, that's good. That'll be all right. That's good. If it's just those two pants, I ain't gonna worry about it. They'll be dry by the time I wear them. And that's what it seems like it's going to be. Nope. There's another pair of pants wet. Give it about another 15 minutes in the dryer. All right, clean out my hands here. Oh. Yeah, give it about 15 minutes and it'll be all good. So, you know what? Screw it. They'll be all right because I got to get rolling. Yeah. It ain't. I don't know why I thought those. How bad are they? That'll be all right. I'm gonna put my phone in my pocket. Hopefully it don't leave. Hopefully it stays on there. Yeah, see now they're pretty much dry. Okay. Alright. That'll be alright. Ah. Ah. I just seen the chicken porn. Uh-oh. I just do. Okay. Ah. Ah. Move. Move. Ah. Gotta get my stuff ready. I'm getting ready with my stuff ready to go. Ah. I know this is a lot of dead air, folks. This is not normal. For us. Anyone that comes up, it's not normal for us just to have dead air. Oh, come on. You see? Okay. All right, guys. Guys done? Oh, would leave, but Jen says she'll be right back, guys. Um, I can hear. Move. Do what? Yeah, I shut the door. Yes. Oh, talking about downstairs. All right. Yeah, chase the chickens in. You taking a dust bath with that? Where did you? Okay. All right, you guys. All right, go in. Ow. In. Go. Come on, go. In. Go. Go. Folks, I'm just getting my stuff ready to go. I'm sorry. Hey, Home Along. Yeah, we're doing a video tonight, Home Along. I think she's going to get one after she gets back, I think. Just bear with us. We got a lot of dead air right now. I'm getting ready, and Jen, she's in the middle of cooking dinner, and I'm getting ready to leave. So just bear with us for about 5 more minutes. Yeah, Home Along, the other day, you left too early. We was going to, the other day, we was waiting for you to come up. We had a video set ready for you, to play for you the other day. I think it was Saturday. Come on, move. I'm getting it. I didn't say anything. What are you looking for? I want that water.
Oh, get out the fucking way.
Yeah, I'll just set that right here. But yeah, set right here so Cass can have her spot. I know. All right, that's fine. All right.
All the different flavors too.
How many bags you got for me? Should be just one, right?
This one. Two.
Those two?
Yeah, I might have more food for you. I just if I can. Right, a lot of it too, but the thing for April was just our renewal.
Oh,
See? I bought
so you're burning up too, aren't you?
See, I knew I had more shit for you.
You're hot too, aren't you?
Oh, I'm fucking freezing.
Then why did you open up the door?
So I can see. Hope I ain't getting sick touching that shit that they all got up there.
Go lay down, Cass. All right, again, folks, I do apologize about this dead air. We're just in the process of getting. I'm in the process of getting ready to get on the road, and Jen went to go check on her dinner.
Oh shit, that's heavy. I got you.
Clint Boyer. All right, go. Get out of there, Neelix. Come on.
Crackers for your soup. And then when I get some extra money, I'll get you some of those one meal thingies.
All right, I'm out of here then. I'll see you in about 2 weeks. Love you.
Yeah. Those two don't fall those bags out.
I don't. I got 2 on the top bunk.
Piggy.
Excuse me.
Oh, that was you? I thought it was one of them.
Oh, I should have kept quiet then. Can I get?
Oh, downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I am not ready for this. Not ready for doing this night driving. Haven't had no damn sleep. Because I slept all night last night. And you expect me to sleep during the day? I don't think so. All right. Yeah, I gotta get this phone on charger. Why? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about it. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Hey, babe. All right. The fuck? I'll check that later. All right. While it's cooling down up in this truck here, I gotta do some stuff here. I'll do it later. Fuck it.
All right, sorry about that, everybody.
You're all right. You're all good.
It says it was like last minute supper decision.
All right, now I'm rolling now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm okay, babe.
Okay. Hi, Cindy. Stir my food up here quick.
I seem a little what? Scattered.
I think she went to say a little scared. Hold on. Put my glasses on.
All right, folks. Again, we do apologize about the dead air. Yeah, the whole time you was doing your dinner, I was getting stuff ready, so there wasn't really no one talking.
Yeah, but I don't have.
I don't know what Cindy's talking about. Frazzled.
Oh, she frazzled. Oh, he looked.
Probably.
Yeah, she thinks she got
Puzzle.
a lot going on in your mind.
Got what?
She's asking why you look frazzled because you look like you're not with it. It's like something's really deep on your mind. That's what she's saying. Did you
I
hear
didn't throw
me?
my hands up in the air. No, I didn't. No, I reached for the visor.
Cindy, are you home?
Yeah,
Are you
she's
at
home.
work?
She's
Hop
home.
up, Cindy. Hop up, Cindy.
No, I was like, hell with that. I'll just do my paperwork later. I was going to do something, but then I ended up changing my mind.
Right.
Hell, is
I took it off. Here we go. I gotta clean my glasses. Arr. Peaches must have came over.
oh, we're trying to get the dogs settled down. She'll be
Oh,
up.
okay. Okay. All right. Give me a minute here. I just want to try to get something in my belly here. I don't feel like multitasking. I had enough of multitasking today. Well, Dean forgot to bring that cage in for me. I have to. He's not gonna like me. I'm gonna have to tell him he's gonna have to put shorts on and go out and get the cage for Cream.
Right curve ahead. Speed limit reduced ahead. Speed warning.
I'm just glad I got extra cages.
Good.
Now.
Are you all right?
You agree, Peaches? You don't want?
Speed warning.
Yep. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do here.
All right.
I don't know if I should keep Creams in the cage I have her in right now. Or if I want to move her in the other one. I might end up just moving her in the other one because I think it's easier for me
Turn left onto a
with her.
street. Speed limit reduced ahead.
I can't see it anyway. I gotta clean my glasses because Miss Peaches must have been over here when I was out there because there's bird poop on my glasses.
Turn at the first left onto a Street. Speed limit reduced ahead.
But just give me a minute, everybody. I know you've been waiting patiently, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You both do.
This string started out bad.
Right curve ahead.
It wasn't that it started out bad. It's just that it's
Bad
like every
timing.
other Monday. It's a slow day and a messed up, mix-up day. So everything's kind
Yeah.
of scrambling out.
In half a mile, turn left onto Church Street.
What? Peaches over on her apartment dancing. I don't know what she's dancing to, but she's dancing. Oh, we came. Did we? Yeah, we did. We came up with the name, different names for the birds. The one that's Antarctic, which I'll show you guys eventually once I get them to stop biting. We named that one Paul. The other one that was supposed to be named Boo is now named Lunatic Trucker
Nah, just leave it, Lou.
or Boo.
Whatever, he had it.
Well, I was thinking of changing Cream over to Cindy. And birds are happy because they got their bird treat today. And since I separated these three, so far the male's not biting. So far. The Boo. But yeah, I was gonna get the other one with the black beak, but with her, she's a shyer than this one.
Right.
She actually tries to get away from you. She doesn't want. It's not that she's trying to get away from you. It's just that she likes coming. She likes doing her own thing. She's one of those. Let's see, her brother last night, because I got to see her brother. He's a little biter. He does not like. He likes to cuddle, but he doesn't like being picked up and held. Uh-oh. All right. Give me 1 second. I want to take my bowl out to the kitchen, put water in it, and I'll be right back in, and we'll get video started.
Yep. Ah.
Are you done?
Lambo. Just got passed by a Lambo. Little Lamborghini was going the other direction. I got a feeling the trailer I'm getting is going to be a pub. Slight feeling of that. Meaning it's only a small trailer. It's not no full. It's only like a 20 between a 28 and a 40-foot trailer instead of a 53.
Okay. Whew. Maybe not the air conditioner on. It's like freaking hot.
Right.
Well, I had the stove running. And let me go double check, make sure I have the stove off.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm hoping I got enough fuel to make this delivery, come back to our yard, or drop the trailer off, go to our yard, pick up the next load, and get down to Bingo before I need fuel. That's what my goal is for. But I highly doubt it. Probably have to get fuel on the way back.
Okay. I'm coming back here. Oh my gosh. Whew. Oh. One more second here. Put my bank card away so I don't lose it. All right. Oh, glances. You definitely tell it's a Monday. He's all out of portion.
I'll be going to dead spot here shortly. I'll be, so I usually lose service for about a minute. Somewhere in through here in Tayberg.
All right. Now I got my glasses on. Now I can see chat. All right.
Right?
So what we got tonight is I'm doing my uncle, and the first one we're going to be watching is. Let me rewind it here. Okay, the first one what we're doing on my uncle is called "You Don't Have to Age" with Dr. Randy Shannon, and I heard Randy Shannon's pretty good. So I am gonna copy and paste the link to this one into chat. That way it's in there, and this is used underneath fair use. Okay, let me get the start, share, and I have my camera off, so that'll help. And we need part 1. Share.
Ooh, that bridge collapsed. Or unless they're working on it.
Well, there was a bridge that they were having problems with that.
No,
told
this
you
is
to be
just a little
careful.
side street bridge. Over here in Tayberg.
Okay. All right. Now you'll hear me talking throughout it, and maybe Scott, but I'm going to try to wait till the end because I think it's a lot easier talking about it when we fully watch it. Then you can actually have it in your mind of what you want to ask or anything like that. So let me make it bigger. And here we go, guys. Starting. Oh,
Yeah, we can't hear it.
maybe it was help there.
Nope.
SZOLLOSE.
A huge shift is taking
There we
place.
go. We got the ad.
Take it back.
This is Randy Shannon.
People seem to be
There you
waking
go.
up and new and changing
Yeah.
the world we live in. My name is Brad SZOLLOSE, and I get to sit down with the next generation of idea makers, the disruptors, and the game changers. Everyday people, just like you and me, from all over, who are doing amazing things. Welcome.
I think I'm in.
Because this is kind of my hobbies. So everybody who's listening, get a pen, get some paper. We're going to means the body
Jen,
can
is
heal.
it
The body
buffering on your
can heal.
side?
Yes.
Randy, are you
Ordeals. So I was and in action here with you. Very exciting.
awesome? Well, I'm going to read your bio. Randy Shannon, a doctor of naturopathy, and specializes in face, tongue, nail analysis, which is known as original medicine. Founder of thebodycan.com, a natural doctor. Her specialties are the 800 plus so-called incurables. She is an expert with the ancient face, nail, tongue analysis. And by the way, Dr. Randy's clients come to her from all over the world, and I can attest to this. I'm one of them, just so you know. Welcome to the show, Randy. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to be here. We've got so much to talk about. And it is 5,000-year-old original medicine. So we didn't have back then what the MDs have today. And I actually like this far more. I do love the MDs for emergency type of situations.
Right.
Of course, I have some experience in that field, but not surgeries and things like that. There are some little tricks of the trade to stop bleeding immediately and life-saving situations, but
She is
we
pretty
have
good.
I feel like the MDs have their place, but I do not feel like it's in anything where we're dealing with something chronic. I think the naturopathic doctors are the first place somebody should go, and most people are unaware. If I tell somebody I'm a naturopathic doctor, they're like, oh, what is that? I've never heard of that before.
Wow.
Yeah, and I can't believe that's never been taught. It should have been taught in schools. Why do we only hear one way, one track? It's not right.
Well, this is really interesting because I grew up, my father being a chiropractor, I grew up with natural medicine in the house immediately. And I've seen chiropractic do like jaw-dropping things to me personally. And, and my best friend, his father lived across the street and he was a general practitioner and he had his own office in the house.
Yeah.
And there was a place for him as well. So I had a very good balance between the two modalities. But through the years, I've done my own research and I've done my own testing and I've done a lot of things. And you are right. Before we had modern medicine and machines and all this other stuff, people could heal like major diseases through herbs, through food. Everything you put in your mouth, by the way, unless it's meat, is an herb. If it's a vegetable, it's an herb. And if you go back to ancient China or Japan, they know which herb heals which organ.
Okay. I know what my uncle is talking about here. We all grew up where my grandfather, his dad, was a chiropractor. He used to chiropract, if you were sick or something, made adjustments and it kind of made you feel better. And then across the street was the family doctor. It's like Brad said, when he started getting older, he started doing his own research and everything. And he's not kidding. Herbal stuff is the best thing. That's why I hate taking medications. If it's something that's herbal and it's not toxic and it's going to help you, the herbal is the best way to go. The herbs and herbal, are the best way. All right, here we go.
organ or which disease.
That's right.
And this I find fascinating. And the work that you do, we got a chance. You got a picture of this, ladies and gentlemen. Randy came out to Vegas, and I found out by accident she was here. And because I saw her post something on Facebook, and I went, "Hey, are you in Vegas?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it turned out we were 70 feet away from each other. And what happened is we contacted each other and we went hiking. And if you've ever been up to, Red Rock and the Calico Basin, I got a chance to pick her brain while we were hiking a little bit. And one of the things, Randy, and you can talk about this, and the ladies are all going to be jealous. And we're going to go into why. I'm not just going to ask you this question and point things out. We're going to go why. I asked you if you dyed your hair, and you said no. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, even my friends that, will sit next to me at dinner every single day. I remember having a conversation, and I said, "Oh, I need to go see my hairdresser. I haven't seen him in almost a year." And she was just absolutely floored. She was in her 30s. And she said, "You don't color your hair?" And I said, "No, absolutely not." And the reason that I don't do that is because, I'm as blonde today as I was when I was a little kid. Maybe I was a teeny bit blonder then, but my hair stays this color. I'm 53 years of age. I'm not afraid to hide it. My hair stays this color because I'm putting the right nutrition into the body. When you start to see white hair or silver hair or varicose veins or hemorrhoids, which are just varicose.
Scott, am I still up on stream?
Yeah, you
Hello?
still got the video showing. You just got us in the back. You can't see us. It's just a video.
Okay, because my computer, the streamer part froze on me, so I'm just making sure. I'll fix it after the video is over.
Yep.
Varicose veins in a funny spot, then you've got some issues. You have deficiencies in the body, and you most likely have absorption issues as well. We'll go into that. But if you're eating the wrong things, you're blocking your absorption, and you're probably at 2% or less. And if you eliminate certain things, then your absorption will go up to about 98%.
Right. And I'm living proof of this as well, because you got me on a regimen a little bit to rejuvenate myself. And I'm almost 60, for those of you who are interested as well in rejuvenation and staying youthful. I remember living in New York years and years ago, and my hair was really dark. It wasn't actually blonde, and it was getting darker. But then I came out here and I started eating better and taking care of myself. No fast food, no soda, none of that stuff. Eating drinking pure water, 70% organic. I wasn't perfect. I would cheat once in a while, but you got me on a regimen, and my original hair color from when I was younger just returned naturally. And some people will say, "Well, that's impossible." Well, I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, but some of the things we attribute to getting old are not about getting old. They're about nutritional deficiencies. And we're going to go into that right now. First of all, I want to ask Randy, how did you learn this? Where did you learn it from? Your mentors, your training? It's your floor right now. And I want everybody to take notes, because it's just simple adjustments that can change your whole life. Am I right?
Yeah, it's true. Well, my first real encounter with the natural type of, platform for medicine, when I was a little kid, I was getting some UTI infections. And so, my parents were, taking me to the doctor, they put me on antibiotic. Well, one time we were out of state, we went to a different doctor, and he said, "Stick out your tongue." I was probably like 9 or 10 years of age, and I figured a popsicle stick was about to go over my tongue again. He was going to look at my tonsils, something like that. And no, in fact, he actually looked at my tongue, and he was looking at the digestive area, and probably other things as well. I just didn't know it at the time. And he said to my mom, "Is she getting a lot of sugars, et cetera?" He asked her a line of questions. And after that, from about the age of 9, maybe 10, all sugars pretty much were eliminated from my diet. So what were they back then? Popsicles. Loved popsicles. Soda pop was like a big deal when I was a little kid. No, still is in the industry. Every time I
That
went to
was every
grandma's,
kid thing. Soda pop,
they had this
toys.
humongous sugar bowl, and I would just dip into that because I didn't have that at home. It was just like one candy after another, whatever my grandfather's flavor of the week was. And that stuff was always there and it was always around. Of course, we were raised up on Wonder Bread,
Yep.
you know, just probably a lot of really Crisco oil, you know, all of these really bad things. And once the sugars were eliminated, then I never had a UTI ever again for the rest of my life. So that was always in the back of my mind. And then just over time, I was a big entrepreneur. I did a lot of things, a lot of different fields, and I was just never really satisfied. I knew I hadn't found what it was that I loved. I hadn't found a passion yet. So, you know, I had some college behind me and went through some life changes. First husband passed away. Second one, we just, you know, parted ways. And so, you know, through all of that in life, you like reevaluate and try to figure out what's the most important thing to you. And it always was health and nutrition. And when I was maybe 16 or so, I had put on a bunch of weight and went to some aerobic classes after about a year of having that weight on me, and learned a better way to eat and to live and, you know, exercise and how it's healthy, etc. So did all of those things. And once I took that weight off, it never went back on. I fluctuated here and there, you know, after children or whatever, because I do have 4 sons, but my journey just continued. And one day I ran into a doctor that just absolutely wowed me, and he will be on a future show. But that is probably what the main trigger point was. And I decided that's it. That's the road I'm going to go down. And I put myself back in, well, I was in my 40s and I went back to school and became a naturopathic doctor. So it's never too late and we have a long way to go. And I will say I was fairly healthy through all of those years, eliminating some things, but you know, I ate plenty of Oreo cookies, double stuffed. I loved them. You know, there was a lot of things in my diet that I probably shouldn't have done, but I feel like I've rectified all of that and reversed all of that aging for sure.
And you can reverse aging. I mean,
Yes.
I look at my family's genetics, and by the way, you look like you just graduated.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you can reverse aging, and I noticed this in my I knew all my great grandparents when I was growing up. So this tells you my family has longevity.
Mm-hmm.
My great uncle fought in World War II in the Navy at the Battle of Midway and lived, and he lived to be in his 90s as well. So, you know, I had grandparents who were, and great grandparents walking me around without aches and pains, just, you know, come on, Bradley, grab my arm and walking. And so I noticed if they have such a great genetic code, also a lot of my family members look young despite being, you know, in their 60s, 70s. People still hit on my great aunt, or my aunt, my mother's sister.
Yep.
They still hit on my aunt because she looks so young. So I figured if I just took what you're teaching and the products you recommend, and you did a tongue analysis for me, I figure I'm going to live to at least be 120. So it is possible. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into this because I want you to talk about tongue analysis. But if you go into a store, folks, and your stuff that you're buying, if most of it's in a box, chances are it's a publicly held company and they put more money into the printing on the box and the label than they did on the actual product. And if you read the ingredients,
it's the same.
There are poisons in there. Those preservatives that they put in there is to keep the food from breaking down and sit on the shelf as long as possible. Now think about this, and Randy, you can talk about this. I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox. This is my favorite subject. The preservative they put in there, if it keeps the molecules and the enzymatic activity from breaking down so that it can sit on the shelf so they can make profit, bigger profit, longer extension of shelf life. Imagine when you eat it, what it's doing to your stomach, because what it does is it's keeping you from breaking it down in your stomach acid. And one of my big problems that Randy helped me with was this: digestion. A lot of us aren't fat because we eat too much. We're eating too much because we can't digest. It's almost like that episode on Star Trek with the tribbles. The more you eat, the less you digest, the more you need to eat. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Let's start with tongue analysis. You can break down and see where a person is sick based on the parameters or the quadrants on the tongue. Am I correct on that one?
Yes.
Talk about this. This is fascinating.
Let me say a couple things. First, I want to say the packaging and all of that, is one of the most enticing things when somebody's going through a grocery store. Even like, okay, so we touched on the hair. I want to say something about that. It's all in the packaging. It's all in, the cell. Okay, so women all over, they have a thing against, their hair changing, whatever. Although I think, like I've said, it can stay the same color forever. There was a guy, and I don't know his name, but I definitely heard the interview, and he was coming on the hair scene as big as like a Paul Mitchell. Right. And he took his students over to, where you can donate your body to science. So he took them to that side, and they had a lot of cadavers there. And the cadavers had their heads cut open all the way to the skull bone. And the skull bone was the same color as whatever they were coloring their hair. Right. So, you talked about digestion, but things going in this way, but it's everywhere. It's the skin, it's the scalp. It's, this is the largest organ on our body, our skin. So what you're putting on it, you got to really watch it. So if you were dyeing your hair brown, your skull bone was brown. If it was blonde or red, whatever. And so that affected that man so much that he actually went a whole nother route for his career. So and what you're putting inside your mouth. So the things that are in most every product out there are some of the most toxic things that we could be doing to our body. For example, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. No program on the planet is going to work if the person is eating wheat, barley, rye, or oats. So why do I say that? Because
yeah, what's up, Antonio? Hey.
What's up, guys? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
Good.
You're good. How are you doing? How are you doing today, hon?
I don't think I'm an admin anymore. Cause I checked my YouTube channel.
You are.
I checked my YouTube channel.
You should be an admin yet. I didn't take you off.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And I can't check it right now because the computer's frozen.
Oh, okay.
I'm stuck on the video screen right now. Once I'm done with the video and everything, and I reboot, I'll check it out quick.
Yeah, for some reason it usually just puts your streams on my channel, and I don't think I have a new stream. I didn't delete it or anything.
Oh, we didn't put it up because we weren't sure. I wasn't sure if you wanted to stream up on yours.
Oh, okay, I see.
I'm trying to get it. Well, I noticed that there are certain things, if we do a stream, you take it off right away. And it's like I said to you, I explained to you in the text message, we got to be careful with doing that because it ends up messing up on the StreamYard streams.
Okay.
I don't know why it just does.
I apologize if I did anything. I shouldn't.
No, you're good. I should check with you and ask you today if you wanted this up on your stream. But I didn't know if you wanted it because it's talking about health and everything else.
I want to have something health related on my channel. Not for today. So yeah. I'd rather have a regular stream on my channel. You know what I mean? If that works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna head out. I just wanted to check in. That's all. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. Give us a little intermission. Okay, here we go. We're going to start again.
There's things in there that our bodies cannot break down, and it goes through our system like a wrecking ball. And by the time it gets to the small intestine, where we are supposed to have these trillions of beautiful grass-like structures called villi, it's part of our body, it's part of our system. Well, when the byproduct that's in the wheat, barley, rye, and oats makes it to the small intestine, it just mows it down like a wrecking ball, okay? And when you don't have villi, that's where your absorption goes to 2% or less. That's why obesity is huge in this country and all over the world. Because like you said, they're just eating and eating and eating. And their brain is like, hey, I didn't get anything good. But it doesn't tell you that. It just says, I'm still hungry. And so people eat. And there's nothing getting in except for calories. That's it. So you have to eliminate all wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Well, then I get the argument, oh, I can't drink beer. Well, there's rice beers, there's sake. Just look for something that's not made from wheat, barley, rye, or oats. It does alter you a little bit, but trust me, when I get through this whole good and bad food list, you're going to be like, wow, I could get fat on that list, because you could. But most people will drop weight naturally, and it takes about 12 to 14 days for the villi to start to grow back. And it takes months and months for them to fully grow back. But once they start, then you start absorbing again. And that's a key. That's a secret. All these doctors all over the world and doing, all these crazy, dangerous surgeries, all you have to do is just get rid of the wheat, barley, rye, and oats and do a few other things, but that's the main one. That'll start to heal the gut, and then the weight will start to fall off because things will start absorbing.
This is astounding to me because I have seen in my life, people don't, like you said at the beginning, people don't know what a naturopath is. And I start cracking up because I had digestive issues, and you told me this. I had far more damage than I realized. But you told me on your protocol, it would take 2.5 months for every year that I had this damage. And it was GI tract, it was thyroid, it was a bunch of other things. And it took about 3 to 4 months before I could physically see things really start to reverse. And this is the funniest part about Randy. She will make you send a picture of your tongue. I hope the maintenance men in my neighborhood didn't see me, but I would be out in the sunlight taking a picture of my tongue. And you could see that my digestive tract was healing.
Yes.
And as soon as it started to heal, I started losing weight. And this is the funniest thing too. There are certain things that we eat every single day that are actually killing us, but we're taught that they're healthy. And you have a list. Am I correct on that one? Like, don't put these in your mouth. You want to talk about those?
Yeah. So, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, which we said. No fried foods ever again for the rest of your life. Okay. No processed meats. So what's a processed meat? The salamis, bacon. I know bacon was all the rage. Everybody get bacon, but it's got to be nitrate free and nitrite free, because those will slowly kill you. No foods cooked in any oils. This is a biggie. Everybody argues this one.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? No oils? Talk about this.
Yeah, that the whole world wants to argue this one. Here's the thing. If you said, Dr. Randy, I want to use olive oil, coconut oil, I'm going to say fantastic if you're taking that coconut, you're mashing it down, and you're extracting the oil off of it, and you're eating it in the next 15 to 30 days, or 30 minutes, I'm sorry. And then it's fresh, then it's full of nutrients, and I'm all for it. However, if it's on a store shelf, I don't care how extra virgin it is. I don't care how dark the bottle is. I don't care, because it's in the whole process, it's exposed to oxygen. So it's oxidizing. And so it may not look rancid or taste rancid, but it is. And if you look at the bottle, between the oil itself and the top of the lid, there's going to be air. So the whole time it's sitting on the shelf through the processing, etc., by the time you start eating it, maybe it's in your house for 30, 60, 90 days. it is completely unhealthy. And what I start to see as a naturopath, when people eat any of the oils, please don't argue it because it doesn't matter. Underneath the tongue, your veins, which are really supposed to be fleshy colored, the tongue top and bottom should be fleshy colored. And so when on the underneath it's not, and I see the blue to purple to black. So it went from fleshy color, which was healthy, to blue, purple, or black. That is, it could be a number of things, but it's essentially the oils. Okay. And they're blocking in the body and they're causing all kinds of oxidative stress. And you're not taking the gun to your head, so to speak, but you're doing it very slowly. You're killing yourself slowly and painfully.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, because the Mediterranean diet, which is a lot of olive oil, has come across our desks all of a sudden. And you're saying that this is not good because it's almost like putting petroleum products in your body.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else that, you know, maybe watching this that's doing the Gundry. I mean, Dr. Gundry would argue with me. That's okay. I can argue with him as well. And I'm totally not for him saying to eliminate certain things. And then it's my understanding, because I've had a lot of Gundry people come to me that are still very sick and they end up being, you know, heart clients. From my understanding, he says to drink this olive oil every single night. And it's no. The answer is absolutely no. No. What do you change that with?
Okay.
Wow. Butter, right?
Yeah. It was never the apple a day that kept the doctor away. It was butter. A stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I'm one of these people that back in the 80s, I heard pasta is good for you. So I started making pasta. I'm thinking, I'm eating healthy. Okay. You know, you laugh. I know, because you know where this is going. I started to gain weight. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Well, yeah, no lie.
Pasta is used by runners to carb load because it carries 2 molecules of water and 1 molecule of glycogen after it's digested and goes into your system. And that gives you that stored calories. Well, when I was taking jujitsu, I started to not use carbohydrates, simplex carbohydrates, by the way, folks. There is a difference. Rice, pasta, potatoes, those are simplex carbohydrates. In other words, they're almost starch. There's only 2 or 3 molecules of something in there, and that's it. Broccoli, on the other hand, is complex carbohydrates, which has all the nutrition in it that you would need. So I switched from eating a bagel for energy, pasta, all this, to just meat and vegetables. And everybody thought, oh man, you're going to have no energy. Well, I took my black belt exam. I trained 5 days a week. I was never tired because I got off that carb addiction, that need for these things. And I also went back to, I started to say, well, why am I gaining weight? I wasn't really sure about the digestion stuff at that time yet. But I started to realize the way I ate as a kid was actually healthier than all this trendy crap I was listening to and thought I knew. So, you know, if you eat flaxseed, ooh, I'm healthy. Well, flaxseed lowers your testosterone and raises your estrogen. Ta-da. If you eat certain oils, you know, we were all talking, oh, canola, vegetable oil, they're not healthy at all. You were now finding out they're killing people. And I just said, you know what, screw it. And I put butter in everything. Yeah. And I felt better. Also, I had somebody who told me years ago, didn't know anything about the science of all this. She just said, I think butter gives us lubrication in our body that we can't get anywhere else. You know, it just makes things move better. And you can't use margarine. They've done an amazing job at propaganda. When these unhealthy products are being pushed on us, they spend all this money trying to tell you that the science is wrong, this is healthy. And it's just not. They're just, all they care about, folks, is selling you a product. You know, things like cornstarch or, you know, high fructose corn syrup. People didn't have to worry so much about their weight in the 70s because they were putting pure cane sugar into things. And they switched to, you know, high fructose cornstarch.
Now, cornstarch and the sweetened sugar, don't ever get that. Don't even get Splenda. They're all fake sugar, and they can actually damage your body more than you would believe with regular sugar. because you have all the fake stuff in it. So, and it's like I said, my uncle has been doing karate and everything else for years. And he's always been looking for like healthy stuff, you know, do it the right way, losing weight and all that. Our family was never, oh shit. Hang on a second. I have a bird that freaked out. Hang on. Come here, Cream. Cream. Hang on, Cream. I gotta get out from under the bed. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me put her right here for a minute. I gotta get the other stand. I know why she's getting off. She don't like the air conditioner. Let me get the other stand for her. Oh shit! Well, wish you would wait. Okay, I gotta back it up a little bit. Come here. Come here. There you go. All right. Hopefully that keeps her occupied for a minute. But as I was saying, he's always been like that. It's like I said, my uncle's a real cool guy. He's down to earth, but he likes helping out people. But he can't stand people that are ignorant, that don't want to take suggestions and stuff. And I'm starting to learn off of him a lot of stuff. I wish I would listen to when I was younger. All right, here we go.
Or corn syrup, and everybody started gaining weight. You know, all of our health drinks, our workout drinks, our sports drinks contain that. You know, so let's dig deeper into this because you still have the rest to go on the list. Let's go.
I get off track of them. So well, first of all, butter. Let me clarify on the butter. Because one of the things I said is no fried foods ever again for the rest of your life. You know, we've looked at places where they eat a lot of fried foods and they are some of the most unhealthy people and the highest cancer rates. Well, what does that mean? Well, when you fry something, you're cooking at such a high heat that it becomes carcinogenic. So cancer causing. So if you cook something like, say, an egg, which I'm a humongous advocate of eggs, it's one of the best ways to get protein and cholesterol. The body needs a lot of cholesterol. The doctors all say they put you on cholesterol lowering meds. And in fact, if you start to get dopey or loopy, or dementias or Alzheimer's, the brain needs it's made up of 75% good cholesterol. So when the doctors all said, stop eating the yolk of the egg, like dementias all went off the charts. We need lots of good cholesterol. The male and female anatomy is made up of about 95% cholesterol. So we have to have that. So I eat a lot of eggs. Cook them on a low heat butter. If it starts to do that snap crackle, I'm frying it now, and now I'm turning that, and it becomes carcinogenic. So you want to keep it low heat butter. Eggs are in my good list, and you can eat 2 to 3 eggs a day, 2 to 3 times a day. Eggs, that runny yolk is so critically important. The whole egg is very healthy, and if you're a vegan or whatever, and you don't want to. You can pick out the part that you don't like and still get all the yolk and the white. That was never the part. Yeah. So no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no fried foods ever again. No processed meats, no foods cooked in any oils ever. And there's some other things. I'm actually revamping my list. You need to completely eliminate carbonated beverages. There was a study that came out, and Dr. Wallach and I have talked about this at length. It said that carbonated anything, carbonated drinks, the seltzer waters and, the champagnes, whatever, all of that carbonation is cutting the life in half. And if you think about it, the cells need oxygen, and therefore you're putting in the CO2. Well, no wonder it cuts your life in half. You're cutting off your oxygen source in a way. Dr. Mercola, by the way, came out with a study. And if anybody has the video, I would love to see it, because I saw it when he did it live, and maybe when everything was forcibly scrubbed on his side, that video disappeared. But basically, he was in an interview and he stated that there was a study, and it was a fresh study, and it talked about the oils in the body, and it said that they stay in the body for about 7.5 years.
Half years?
It's sludge. It's pure sludge. And what I see is a lot of heart issues. A lot of people with heart issues and liver issues.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is a mind-blowing, because if you think about it, yeah, oils are not natural substances. If you knew what it takes to make one olive, to get it off the tree, because they don't just drop and look like that. They have to be soaked for weeks, and they have to actually make them happen, and then to grind them up into oil. Wow, this is powerful. I know that when I switched and shut the hell up and listened to Randy, yeah, I could actually feel myself getting healthier. It's the funny thing. But I'm one of those rare people. I pay attention. Like if I get up, I almost ask myself every day, on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I feeling today? And sometimes I'm a 9, and if I'm a 9, I ask myself what it is. Did I poop yesterday? Did I drink enough water? Did I eat too much, ice cream or whatever, sugar and things like that? And I'm one of those people. There's a lot of people out there who aren't that at all. They wouldn't even know. They're listening to us and going, "Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm going to eat my whatever, and I'm going to live fine. I'm going to die happy."
Yeah. Well,
I watched my dad die horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Suffers. So you don't really want to do that. You might want to listen today. So.
When I first saw you in person, Brad, I didn't know you the way you are today. But when I look at the photo of you back then versus the photo of you today, you're a completely different person. You have your vitality back. You have your life back.
Well, it was a very weird moment in my life. I had gotten a divorce. I had moved to Las Vegas. I had been out here. And like I said before, my family doesn't age like other families. We all have a genetic propensity in our families. You can either enhance it or eliminate it. David Benzikin, he was forced to become a vegan because his entire family, their blood type does not react well to meat and everything else. So all these what they would call genetic problems, family genetics, which I don't believe in. But he became a vegan, and all those health issues went away. They just disappeared in him. And so he's making a change in his family. And from that moment on, it's all going to shift. Mm-hmm. For me, and this is why I'm bringing this up, when I came out here, I looked old. I was getting older looking. Okay. I was looking my age. And for me, I was panicking because I was like, that shouldn't be. It just should not be for my family, the way we are. And so I started exercising and getting sun, and I started, I did a kidney flush and a liver flush and did different things. And then I met you, and, you really helped me reverse a lot of it. And if I showed you you've seen the pictures, but for some people, if I showed them what I looked like 3 or 4 years ago, it looks like I should look 20 years from now.
Yeah. What he's talking about when he was younger, and he still looks good to this day. He really hasn't changed and anything really, except for that he's watching his weight now and stuff. But it's like I said, I mean, you guys, need to check him out. Plus, back, he has several different books out that are all hitting #1 in the Amazon. So, like I said, make sure you guys, I have his link in the description. And it's like I said, you want to check out more of the video, or you want to check out something that maybe they said you missed, you had the video.
Okay. You helped to reverse a lot of things. And I gotta, tell everybody, how can they get a hold of you if they need to get a hold of you, Randy?
I'm all over the place, really, but the website is The Body Can, and if it's thebodycan.com. And if somebody wants to schedule, it's just /schedule. So the body can is in the body can heal itself. And then I'm on Instagram, instagram.com /thebodycan. Same on YouTube, youtube.com /thebodycan. I keep it really simple. And then there's a couple Facebook groups. You have to search for them because, with the censorship and things that are going on today, sadly, when anybody posts anything about the event that's going on around the world right now.
That thing they're trying to stick us with.
Yeah. So I get my hand slapped on my page and I get punished. So sometimes you can't find it when you're searching, but it's facebook.com /groups /thebodycan. And there's like 3 simple questions there. Even if you don't answer them, I look at every single profile before I accept you in, just trying to make sure that I keep the group clean and no scammers. And nobody's allowed to just, do a big sales pitch in there. It's literally information swapping. There's files and everything else. My credentials are there, showing my school and my diplomas, etc. So just to make everybody aware of what I do know. And Brad, after I got out of school, while I was in school, that's where I found that I really had, I was good at it, looking at the face, the nails, and the tongue. And ironically, I have fingernail polish on. But this is the first time I've had it on, and I'm not joking, 5 or 6 years, because I had it on Friday. And I decided to do it up. But I don't put anything on my skin to speak of. Some various oils that are just very good for the skin. And after I just got done saying no oils ever, these are essential oils. So they're a different base. It's not like a coconut oil. Yeah. So it's a little bit different. And even that I don't do very often. I think sunlight is huge. And I really implore people to get out into the sun, especially going into this winter. With so many people that have been vaccinated, and a depletion of vitamin D is never good for the body. So, and then if you're near an ocean, where you can just go and ground out and just get in that salt water and, just pull that energy off of that. There is energy in there. I try to go every week or every couple of weeks, and I'm only a few miles from it, but to actually go and find a few hours just to sit and shut off the phone and shut off all the electricity and, just recharge. That's important.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that people living in Las Vegas is the funniest part. I never realized how sick people were until this pandemic began. And I literally saw people getting out of the car to go to restaurants and it looked like they've never been in the sun in their lives.
Right.
And they were so white, porcelain white, that you could see the veins under their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have varicose veins. You could just see the dark vein near the surface. They had never been in the sun. And it's because some of you out there listen to every single piece of propaganda that's sent out health-wise. They go, pasta's healthy. You start eating pasta and you gain weight. You can't figure out why. They say, don't go in the sunlight. And then you can't figure out why you get sick and you get the cold. And it's very easy for you to get sick all the time. We're, in 250,000 years, suddenly the sun is dangerous. Are you serious?
It blows my mind.
Yeah. I don't know why people they listen without thinking. And by the way, if you look at any of the suntan oils or lotions or anything like that, the ingredients on them are carcinogenic.
Yes.
And people slather this on their skin thinking that this is going to protect them, when in reality, it is actually causing a lot of the problems because your skin absorbs things right through the skin. It also, people don't realize. I know a lot of people who never went in the sun and they're getting skin cancer. And it's like, and then you find out they're drinking Diet Coke all the time. Mm-hmm. And there was a study that came out years ago that the number one ingredient that makes it sweet is aspartame. Aspartame was invented in a lab to eat up poop. They would dump it into cesspools and sewage systems so it would eat it up. So it's a man-made organism. And the
Boys-
byproduct of that
boys-
organism when it
No,
when it
boys,
poops,
boys,
okay,
girls.
that fecal matter
Only
is where aspartame came from,
didn't know if I
a
told
sweetener that this is what you're eating, and they say this is the miracle
you much.
sweetener. Well, the study actually said the aspartame, anything that has aspartame in it, is the leading cause of cancer out there. Now try finding that study again. These things disappear off the web really fast, don't they?
They do. It's unbelievable that people actually do still put those pink, yellow, and blue packets into their coffees or, sprinkled on their fruits. And when I have 4 sons, and when one of them was in junior high, I remember him reaching for one of those, and I said, absolutely not. And apparently they were giving it out in the school system. So, I'm not a big advocate for the school system. I've homeschooled most of my sons. They're all grown up and just amazing young men. But I remember one of them coming home one day, and because I hadn't thrown something into the recycle, I got the big what for business, and that the whole world was coming down because of me. And now they're 25. They understand different. But it was just kind of a interesting conversation that day about why the world's really coming down. So there's an indoctrination going on, and it's not of the good things. It's like, why didn't they teach how to grow a garden, how to grow your food, how to do things with your hands? And why is college everything? I could just go on down that road forever, but
yeah, me too. You and I are of like mind. We know that the next generation has been indoctrinated through marketing, not science. They've been indoctrinated into, you're selfish if you believe in freedom and your family and taking care of yourself. We need to worry about people on the other side of the world. Give us your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, this is going on. Or if you own a gun, you're some sort of crazy, person. And so we have an entire generation that's been taught that boomers are evil. That we caused the economic collapse all over the world. We're the reason poor people are poor. Let's see, what else can I we caused climate change or global warming. We destroyed the economy. What else? All these myths they've been taught because they don't want you to point the finger at the actual cause of what's going on. So it's easy to blame the obvious, my generation. But the reality is I might do a show on re-educating everybody on what is the actual cause. But anyways, let's get back. What else do you want to talk about? Because there's more things that you shouldn't put in your body. But I also want to ask you, when you look at someone's tongue or fingernails or whatever, what are you looking for? Because honestly, if I went to a Western doctor right now, he would, check my tongue. He'd do my reflex. He'd hit the hammer on my knee. He would, make me breathe into a tube and maybe do a stress test. And he'd go, get out of here. You're doing great. But if I went to you, you were like, oh, Brad, you have liver issues here. It looks like your GI tract needs some work. Your thyroid shot. Your male endocrine system needs an upgrade. Oh, my God. I wouldn't be able to walk out because with naturopathic medicine, I can't get away with bullshitting myself. Okay? If I'm not drinking enough water, you'll see it. If I'm not taking care of my body, you'll see it. If I'm eating oils, you'll see it.
Yes.
What are you looking at? Is what I really want to get at.
And this is my passion. This is what I do, and I'm just very good at what I do. I love this field. So when I'm looking at a tongue, like for example, I just said, Brad, stick your tongue out, and you stuck your tongue out. I'm looking for cracks. I'm looking for discolorations. Remember, I said it's supposed to be fleshy colored.
Right.
And bottom. So I'm looking for any little spots all over the tongue. I'm looking for a mirror-like coloring that could be, anywhere. It's more of a texture. It's very glossy, very shiny, very wet-looking. I'm looking for those types of things, and I'm looking to see where those things show up. So the tongue has different meridians. For example, the edges are liver, gallbladder. In the center, you have the digestive area. Just in front of that on the top, you have the lungs. In front of that on the top, you have the heart. In the very back, you have kidney. bladder. So all of these things will show up there. And then underneath, whenever I see those discolorations, they're typically liver or heart, or they could be a heavy metal toxicity. So, I'm looking to get straight to the root cause. And then when somebody, that's just a tongue analysis only. Typically somebody will get me on the phone with that one for anywhere between 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. Then when I do a full analysis, I'm actually looking at the fingernails. If a woman has polish on, it's got to go. Because I need to see what's going on there. For all my life, I can count on one hand how many times I actually put polish on my nails. But so all my life I've been able to look at my nails. I can see if there's spots. I can feel if there's ridges. There's, like a hairline, black line going across the nail typically indicates internal bleeding. So if you've got polish on, you can't see that. If people are getting injections and fillers and Botox and all of that, you can't see that. So the body is screaming out, hey, there's something wrong with you and I need help. And you can't see it. So on the face, for example, underneath of the eyes, if it's discolored, typically it's liver related. If it's puffy, then it's kidney related. I can see the heart. I can see the liver lines, the pancreas, the spleen, the reproductive system. Smile lines. Everybody goes and gets Botox for the smile lines. That's not what I do. When you're getting the Botox, you're just band-aiding it. But when you actually internally feed the body what it needs, yeah, you're still going to get them because, we're getting older and it just happens. But you can see them on 20-year-olds. But it's a lack of nutrients. So if you do like a high protein diet and you do, and I'm not saying like a ridiculous high, because there is a certain point where, then it's a problem. But nice protein diet, eliminating all of the bad things, putting in the good things, and getting your collagen. And then there's certain things out there that are for bone, joint, cartilage, ligament, tendon, and I take those things every single day just to keep everything up, to keep a nice jawline. I exercise, so I'm getting that, but I want it to happen naturally from what I'm putting inside.
You did this with me, like you monitored my tongue for about 6 months, and we're ongoing with this because I'm getting back in the saddle with more of these, because you have me taking a 99 nutrient mineral blend of essential nutrients that we need every day, essential minerals, because of the blue study and everything. They started to notice certain people that lived longer, and and here's the weird part about the blue study. They didn't include the places where people lived to be 110 and still ate meat. Okay. They kept them out of the study because it didn't fit their, whatever agenda. But you were talking about Dr. Wallach before we started. And he realized there was stuff in the soil as well that helped add to this. AMA was formed, the American Medical Association. There was only one Eastern modality that they approved right away, and that was acupuncture, because it worked. They fought chiropractic. They fought herbs, even though most pharmaceutical companies,
they don't like knowing that herbs is a natural healing.
Everything for 100 years until now. Now insurance covers chiropractic and stuff like that. But
the pharmaceutical and the doctors do not like the fact that when you do the herbs, they are actually the best thing to have for healing broken bones, pain. If you find an herbal that does that, which, well, as you see, I take for my pain, I do edibles. My thyroid medicine is an herbal. It doesn't have no rat poison and nothing like that into it. I've been trying to stay away from the other stuff and try staying with natural. Trust me, in the long run, it pays off. Here we go.
These modalities that come from ancient China, they originally started because the emperor wanted to get his troops back on the battlefield as quickly as possible. So acupuncture, the right herbs, the right minerals, getting those pressure points, looking at the different areas so that you know where a person is sick. My naturopath in New York for many, many years, Iran Josan, he was from Eastern Africa. He would do iridology, which is the science of using the parameters of the eyes to figure out which organs were messed up based on bloodshot, in the eyes. And then he would confirm it with reflexology. So he would touch that pressure point where the liver was bad in my eye and then check it in the bottom of my feet. And I usually screamed. And Randy uses the tongue and fingernails also as another modality. Every part of our body that has an organ aligns back up with the spinal column, and that nerve ending also runs to the ends of our fingers, the ends of our tongue, our eyes, and the bottoms of our feet. So you can confirm which organs have a problem just by hitting that pressure point for that particular meridian. So I'm just explaining it for our guests, or for our audience, so that they understand this isn't some sort of, voodoo stuff. You're actually using the systems within the body and where those train tracks, those nerve systems and blood systems end in these different areas. And you can figure out, you can tell a person right away that, well, you've been eating too much cheese or alcohol, it's showing up in the liver, the kidneys, things like this. Your diet has too much protein in it because the kidneys aren't working properly. And I love what you do. I really do. I really thank you, by the way, for all that you do.
Well, you were saying 99 minerals. I just want to clarify it. It's actually 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 to 3 essential fatty acids. That's what the body has to have every single day to function optimally. Do I do additionals? Absolutely. Did I have you do additionals? Yes.
Hell yeah.
When I look at the face, tongue, and nail analysis, I'm going laser focus in, and you're telling me what's wrong with you, but I also see what I see and double, triple confirm, because face, tongue, and nails. And then I also ask for if there's any marks of concern on the body. For example, moles or varicose veins. If there is, I want pictures of them. I have a client that came to me and she said, I don't know what's going on with me. I have these cherry moles all over my abdomen. And I keep going to a dermatologist, and twice now they froze them all off, and then they would just come back even more the next time. And now they're back again, and I don't know what to do about it. And when you have moles that are cherry in color and they're coming in on the abdomen, that's something very serious. A dermatologist should never be freezing those off. That's the body saying, I've got something serious wrong. And, it could be ovarian cancer, probably female, organ related. If they show up around the scalp, it could have something to do with an aneurysm. When you have varicose veins, like I said, they or hemorrhoids that are just varicose veins in a funny spot, those are little mini aneurysms, and they are not to be ignored. So when you have them, or migraine headaches, the hair is already going white or silver, you're running the risk, you're showing all the signs of an aneurysm. And so, doctors don't know that. A naturopathic knows that. But most naturopaths don't even ask that whole line of questioning. When you come to me, you're going to fill out a form and you're going to tell me, because I'm very specific in my questions. I know what I'm asking, get right to the root, and then I put together a protocol with those 60 minerals, the 16 vitamins, the 12 amino acids, and the 2 to 3 essential fatty acids. But then if I see, for example, a white coating all over the tongue, I'm going to know that there's another part of my protocol that you're going to take, because we need to get into the gut and knock that bad bacteria. And if that doesn't do it, then it's probably lung related. If it just kind of lingers around for months and months, then, you know, we're going to look at some sort of a respiratory support. If I see a heart issue, for example, it can be redness in the tongue. It can be a crack running through the heart meridian. If I see that, then I look on the underneath. If I see blockage there, then I look at the face. There's 2 lines that show up on the forehead in a very specific spot that are heart related. And and there's only 2 things typically that are missing when somebody has what they call the widowmaker. And that's just, you know, you hear about it. The guy's going along in life,
Ladies,
doing
what it
great, and all of a sudden
do?
he just drops dead of a heart issue. He was missing a vitamin or a trace mineral, and the body doesn't make the trace minerals. We have to supplement with them.
We have to. Yeah. Our body, our food supply in America is actually missing a lot of the essential nutrients that we actually need. I just want to point something out for those of you watching on video. When I used to do this with my forehead, you would see these big, thick lines, almost like worms on my forehead when I make the creases. Now I can't even get them to show up. So for those of you who want to get plastic surgery and Botox, you don't need it if you go on something like Randy's protocols, because I barely have the lines on my forehead now when I crunch up like that. You see?
And it's sticking with it.
Yeah.
The protocols are typically 90 to 120 days. Some people take longer. If you want to reverse that aging, then you're probably going to take a little bit longer. And there's nothing wrong with that. I say it like this, Brad, to my clients. You drive a car, right? Most people say yes. You put gas, spark plugs, windshield wipers, the fluids, the new battery, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the most important vehicle that you drive is this body. So why would you give it less maintenance than you give the car, but yet ask so much of it, and then get upset when you're sick, and then draw in everybody? Oh my gosh, I'm so sick. Take care of yourself. Be proactive, and these things won't happen. You won't suffer. Somebody said, and I've seen this out there on the internet, but somebody actually wrote it to me. You're going to be so healthy, Randy. One day you'll be dying of nothing. You'll be laying in bed dying of nothing. I don't know what I'll die of, but, you know, I'm trying to prevent all of the norms, all the top 3.
Well, there are people that they claim, if you Google this in even Wikipedia, the oldest living person is out of China. And some of you are going to be shocked when you hear this. But it was like 229 years.
Holy!
Now this sounds crazy. It sounds conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. But if you go and you look him up, they actually have proof of where he's been, the businesses he ran, the documents he did. And if you want to live, you know, I'm not saying you're going to live to be 229. Yeah, that does sound crazy. Like, that's impossible. Well, what if you wanted to live to be 120? And you don't have to live to be 120 with osteoporosis and hunched over and pain.
No.
The worst thing I have ever had is when people come up to me in my class reunions and they say, "How do you deal with it?" I go, "Deal with what?" They go, "You know, the knee pain." I go, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. Or how do you deal with the hip issues? And I'm literally looking at it. You know, I do jujitsu. I'm literally looking at them going, "Oh my God, what is going on?" And I'm immediately going into that. We can solve this for them. So I want you to reach out to Randy and go to the Body Can, and I want you to book an appointment, because she'll take a look at your tongue, tell you what you need to do, what protocols to get on, and how to eat better. And if you're getting older and you don't want to age and you're thinking, "Oh, maybe I should get plastic surgery for, you know, my double chin or whatever." If you notice, both of us have decent jaw lines at our ages, is because we do these things. When you eliminate wheat, oat, barley, what else? What's the other thing?
Wheat, barley, rye, and oats.
Rye and oats. When you
No
eliminate
fried food.
that,
No food cooked in any way.
this goes away. Okay, your skin tightens up, your hair color returns, and your nails, your cuticles, your tendons, your bones, everything. Randy had me on 30 different things in order to heal me, and I was putting in a shake every day, drinking it, and it was delicious. And what happened is things started to come back. I could literally feel myself go back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years in age. I could actually feel it.
Mhm.
So please reach out to her and make an appointment, book an appointment. And if you're worried about money, you know, she does a good job. She doesn't charge you an arm and a leg, but it's worth every penny. I got to tell you, it's worth every penny that I put into this. Thank you. We by the way, we come to the lightning round of the show where I ask you questions and we go a little deeper. Do you still have time for that?
We'll do
Yeah,
it
for
for
sure.
you next
Absolutely.
Monday.
All right. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Oh boy.
And they're designed to help get everybody to know you a little bit better. So,
Okay.
first question is, and I probably know the answer to this, but what is one thing about you that a lot of people don't know about you?
Mm. Well, I live in Miami, and I do show, like, in my social media, a lot of like social life, but my life is actually way more tame than people would think because I live in Miami. I'm kind of the nerd of all of my group of friends. And when I go out, I might have a glass of wine, but then the rest of the time I'm drinking water with fresh squeezed lemon. And I go and hang out at certain places where it's kind of like the Cheers of Miami, where you go in and everybody knows your name. And the bartenders will all say, "Do you want your regular?" And my regular is hot tea with lemon and honey. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just a normal person, down to earth. You know, sometimes I'll get on the phone with people after they've heard me on a radio show or whatever, and they're like, "I can't believe I got you." But I'm just me. I'm just normal, happy.
Yeah, you are very down to earth. When I took you around Las Vegas, you were just really like, "Hey, can I get a picture over here?" And it's like, you look exciting, but you're a nerd at heart. Am I right?
Yeah, I really am.
That's incredible. And you and I have a lot in common, you know, going hiking and things like that, and the gun range. I always show you when I go over there. But my second question is, what is something you really, really are passionate about?
I'm passionate about our country and our freedom and not losing it. Honor, loyalty. Those are the things. It's not just one thing. I probably would have been good in the George Washington days. I probably would have been, I don't know. I'm just more of an earthy kind of person. I really like going back to the earth and back to our roots. And I really like goodness and honor and honesty. Yeah.
I think that's one thing you and I have in common. I'm also a patriot. I hang out with other patriots, and I see where this country is going.
Scary.
And this was a country where I mean, look at my last name, okay? This is a country where immigrants could come from anywhere in the world. Didn't matter your race, creed, or color. You had opportunities. Yep. And a lot of people nowadays, they've been taught this nonsense that this country is, you know, all kinds of things that are just not true. And I feel that if freedom is gone, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, someone's going to discover books that are based on the truth of what this country was. It's not a great experiment. It is the way the whole world should operate. And that is, you have the freedom to do what you do, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And you also have the freedom to create a business, and you have ownership, sovereignty for your own life and your own way of life. And this is why, you know, some people go, "Well, you can have that in other countries."
This is why I'm playing it.
Not
And we're
really.
going to watch part
Okay.
2 next week.
This is why millions of people come to this country every year and stay. People don't realize 1 million people are let into the United States every year. Forget about the border situation. People come to this country to live because there's an opportunity here to become great.
Yeah.
My Hungarian grandfather started multiple businesses here and thrived. That's what it's about. Now, some of us, our families have been here longer. Some of us, our families just got here. But this is what makes America unusual. You don't see this in Japan. This racial mixing, this mixing of everybody has an opportunity. It doesn't matter if you're from Korea, Africa, Australia, Peru. When you get here, you can make something of yourself. And there is no other country on earth like this. That's why people are fighting to get here.
Mhm.
Okay, so those of you who've been taught this myth that we're the evil, empire, you've been taught something that's not true.
The people are the good. I think the government is out of control, but I think the people, the grounded people.
Richard Maybury says this. He says, you can love your country and hate your government.
Mhm.
That's what's happening right now.
Yeah,
And, I think we're going to have a new renaissance. I'm hoping for it because, I meet people of all walks of life, Black, Latino, white, Chinese, Vietnamese, people from everywhere. And they're starting to wake up to this new patriotism. That this is America, and we are Americans, and we're coming together. And it's exciting to talk to someone else like you as well. I have one last question.
Okay.
What would you like to be known for at the end of your life? When everybody looks back and maybe it's on your tombstone or maybe, you want your epitaph. What do you want that to be?
I think the main thing, and I have it now in life, which is great, is that the 4 people that I love the most saw that I stood and did the right thing when the times came that I needed to. And who are those 4 people? My 4 sons. And as long as they continue to look at me in a high esteem level, then I'm happy. And that's the most important thing to me, because they see that I stand. They see that I took them out of school when I didn't agree with what they were getting taught. I've taken stands my whole life. And, I used to, there's the term black sheep. And in a way, I always felt like I was the black sheep. I left the house and traveled the country and, had my sons and wasn't afraid to take them and travel with them and teach them and, just have them be different from the world. I did funny things that a lot of people won't do that are just, I went through the grocery store line. If I had my kids with me, I would take, the trashy magazines and just kind of turn them around so that my sons were protected from that. I never wanted them to think that the women, for example, that were on those magazines was what a real woman was. So, they're all very grounded. They're all very grounded. And whether they even realize I did that kind of stuff or not, we don't have a television. I only still live with one. He's in his, last months of school. But when it was just me and them, the television was thrown out because I felt like it was leading everybody down a wrong path and nobody was active. And, I was one of the, I don't have a television. I could care less. Don't feel like I'm missing anything. And I'm really living life. And one time, one of the boys, he had been traveling and he came back and visited and he said, Mom, you haven't really done anything. You haven't experienced anything. And I spent the next 30 minutes, because he hadn't been around. I spent the next 30 minutes of telling him everything I had done in the last year alone. And he's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was totally wrong. So I want them to know that I lived. I want the world to know that I lived. Now I've had to cancel 3 trips to Europe. I just had to say no to a trip to Mexico because I refuse to be tested for something I'm not sick with. Yeah. So I take stands and I'm not willing to cave, and I'm willing to stand for other people. I've been speaking out and, doing this for a lot of years, standing up for the little guy, because, we're all that. If you weren't a criminal trying to make your way to the top the other way, then we're all equal in that sense. And, just trying to make it in life, just have a little piece
Randy.
of happiness. Yeah.
Ain't that the truth, sister?
Yes. Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please reach out to Randy Shannon, naturopath. Go to The Body Can, CAN, The Body Can, and just look at what she's talking about. Start making these changes and talk to her. Reach out to her and book an appointment, please. Thank you, Randy, so much for we finally get you on the show. Thank you.
Yay. And we didn't even talk about it all. We have so much more to talk about.
Let's do that on the next show. We'll talk about the more stuff on the
Sounds
next show.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Bye.
And Awaken Nation. Yay!
Hey, everybody, tune in next week for another great edition of Awaken Nation. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on your favorite media platform. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for being a big part of the Awaken Nation movement. This is how you can help me and our extraordinary guests. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please share it out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And let's grow this movement by word of mouth. Our success will be because of you. Thank you, and see you next week.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to reboot. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome to Awaken Nation.
All right, everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That's going to be our Monday shows. Tomorrow, I'm hoping I'll be up tomorrow. Then hoping I'll be up on Wednesday. There's a 20% chance I'll be up tomorrow. And then for Wednesday, there is about 50% chance. So we'll have to see what time I get done, what time I get up, and everything. So we'll see how that plays out. I gotta do a pit stop up here, not before you use the bathroom. I gotta do something about my CB radio. I gotta check to see if the power cord's not fully connected or what. I don't know what's going on. It's been flickering real bad. I'll pull up at the next service plaza and take a quick look at that. All right. Hello? Well, obviously she's not fully connected because I cannot hear her. I don't know if she's saying something because it's not showing.
Oh,
There
we
you
go.
are.
Yeah, my computer's being slow. Yeah, my computer's being slow, so just give it a minute.
Yep.
Switch up. Next month. Give everybody a chance to. No, wait, he does his interviews and stuff. He does not put out misinformation. He will read it right off of what he's seen it from. And he doesn't take it from the fake news. And my uncles talked a lot. But like I said, I have his channel in the description down below. And I have that video, first part video. And so it's like I said, go check him out. He has all kinds of other videos. Give him a like. Share that he is get down there. So you just hang out, chill, you know. Not, you know, he's really good, and he's made a profession, you know, for himself, and I'm very proud of him.
Right.
And he's always learned. He's always challenging himself. So, and as you were hearing me in the background, as you guys were listening and watching the video, Dan brought in the other cage for me. I was cleaning up the other cage. And I put creams in the other cage. It's big. And I like that one better. Because she doesn't seem like she's wanting to bite on the bars. So the cage that she's in used to be Fruity Pebbles. Because we don't have Fruity Pebbles no more. Since the three amigos, yes, I nicknamed the three amigos, decided to hurt him. And he's somewhere wet. But the three amigos are in separate cages now. Boo, the male one, is slowly, he's taming down. So, along with Weeks. Creams is somewhat hand trained. She flying around pretty wild.
You're getting another bird in 2 weeks, you said?
Like what Peach is with to you, because she wanted to be right there with you. This one here likes to explore.
You said you're getting another bird here in 2 weeks?
She wants to look around everywhere.
Hello?
No. No, I'm not getting another bird. I already have Cream. I'm saying it should take 2 weeks to train Creams and the one of the three amigos.
Uh-huh.
The other two might take a little bit longer because they're more aggressive.
Uh-huh.
You knew about these. Don't get on my ass. You knew about these. It's if I would get another one. But I'm not. I'm not.
See? She said the big F
If
word.
I would have another one. If I would happen to have another one, it's to help Chelsea, because she does have one bird that's a baby that is very, 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 very shy. The one I was originally going to get, but I decided not to because of how shy she is. And right now, with me having my goddaughter over, I don't want to scare her any more than what she is.
Yeah.
So I ended up picking this one. And then but Chelsea knows that she needs help with getting it to get it unshy for like when if she goes to work or something, she can bring him over. She can bring her over, and her and Creams will be fine together. It's just babysitting and trying to get her to get unshy. But I'm not keeping her. Chelsea will find another home for her. For that one. The shy one. So, anyway, so as I was saying with my uncle, it's like I said, and this here, the reason why I brought it up, because there's been a lot floating around in the YouTube streets. Everybody's going after everybody about weight or this or that or this and this. And I did see some of the clip before I decided what to do. And I thought these two right here that my uncle has be perfect.
Right.
Because it's what's going on right now. And it's like I said, part 2 we'll do next week with her. It's because my uncle did it in 2 parts. But eventually we'll get my uncle over here to chat with everybody and see what else he wants to do in the future. Because my uncle's done it all. I mean, he's done art. He used to be, well, he still does his art stuff every now and then. He was a comedian. He still does it. He goes out and speaks. Professional speaker. What you see with his podcasting, and he writes books. So he's come a long way, and he's proven that you can get successful if you put your mind to it. It's like I said, right now, I don't know. I know his Leader Liquid Ship and the other book he has out over across the pond from us, even over in the North Korea. His books hit #1 along here in here in the United States.
Yeah.
And now he put out 5 more books. And 5 more books, I mean, if y'all want to know about little secret and hacks and stuff about the government and how to avoid a lot of stuff, go check into his books. He does a lot of research. He doesn't write anything, or it's like I said, doesn't put out anything that isn't true. And he also does a lot with his personal experiences too. But my uncle ain't lying. I mean, my grandfather his dad was a chiropractor. And then across the street, good friends of theirs was a family doctor. So that was our family doctor until he passed away. And then my grandfather is a chiropractor, which he did chiropractic on me because of my cerebral palsy. Thinking that if he does that, should be good. And he thought he could heal it. And yeah, what it does is chiropractic, it loosens up your muscles and stuff and helps out. But the problem is it's a birth defect that'll never go away. That just keeps on progressing. And it turns into arthritis. And right now I have the osteoporosis, and that's in my back. And that means, well, what it is your bones are deteriorating. So now I know that in my legs, my bones are deteriorating in my legs and in my back. So now I got to be careful what I do. But it's not to the point to where if I fall, I'm automatically going to break a bone. It's not to that point yet.
Right.
So, let's see. Okay, she's going to be a weird bird. She's hanging from the top of her cage to go to sleep. She's the first bird that I had in a long time.
She's upside down. She's hanging upside down.
Yeah, she's on the top of her cage, hanging upside down.
Alrighty then. I guess whatever
since I seen
floats your
bird-
boat. Huh. Yeah, I'm down to about 25%
Yeah,
on
that's what
my
I
full
said.
battery.
You know, she's got plenty of room. She's got a big cage. She's got plenty of room.
Are you sure it's not a part bat?
All right, folks. We're gonna.
Are you sure she's not part bat? And I think I lost
That'd
her.
be interesting.
What? If she's part bat? Oh, I don't know if it's my end or her end.
Scott.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna say goodnight, folks, because his phone's acting up.
No, not mine. I'm down to 25%. I think it's yours. Who knows?
Everybody, love and hugs, and we will see you
Titties and beer. Titties and beer. And if you haven't, please hit that like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you guys loved it. Again, like I said earlier, there's about a 40% chance I'll be up tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing reactions on our old videos. Loves and hugs and titties, beers, and jugs and hugs. Oh, hey, wait. Paul, just flat out no, Paul. No. Again, no.
All right, folks. Have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
There we go.